Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a video that is highly requested by you guys on my Instagram. So I would say majority of people started following me back when I was competing in the IFBB and they were following like my fitness journey. I no longer compete anymore, but fitness is still such a huge part of my life. I still lift weights and work out, I would say 4 to 5 to 6 times a week. And the most requested video I get as far as my workouts or you guys wanting to know what I do is always for my glutes. I could post upper body workouts all day and it'll get a little bit of love, but everyone wants to see the glutes. So I'm finally putting this video together for you guys to show you my top favorite glute exercises to lift the glutes, grow the glutes, make them bigger, rounder, higher, all of that we all want. We all want that fake looking booty without an actual fake booty, you know? But yeah, I don't want to make this intro too long. Let's just get into the exercises. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna start with is glute activation. I'm sure you've heard of them before, but if you haven't, the purpose is just to wake up the glutes and get the blood flowing so that you can target them better during your exercises. Also, if you have trouble targeting them in general during your lifts, this will really help with that. But here I'm just doing a squat with a side kick with the resistance band. This one I like because it helps target the legs, the glutes, and that side booty. If you're looking for bands, I will link mine down below. I just get them from Amazon. But this exercise, you really want to focus on keeping the resistance in the band. So not closing your legs too much or you lose that resistance. I'm going to be doing all these glute activation exercises 3 times, and I do about 10 to 12 reps on each side. The next exercise is just a standing kickback with that resistance band again. If it's too easy for you, you're more than welcome to add a second band. This is the hardest band that I have, like the most resistance one, but sometimes I will add a second band on there just to make it a little bit harder if I'm not feeling it that day. But yep, this is just your standard kickback and I'm doing 10 to 12 reps on each side 3 times. Also, just a quick note, you want to keep your back straight if you can during this. You don't want to be arching your back during this exercise. When you kick back, try to squeeze that glute at the top of each rep. And the final glute activation exercise that I'm doing is going to be clams. This just helps target that booty and the side booty that I talked about earlier. I am trying to focus on that more these days to give myself some shape, if that's even possible. Just doing 10 to 12 on each side. Again, if the resistance isn't hard, then add a second band. And also on this exercise, you do want to try to pause at the top of each rep. So the first exercise we're gonna get into is my all-time favorite booty lifting, booty growing exercise, and that is gonna be hip thrusts. The first set that I do is my lightest weight that I'll do. This is my lightest weight, but if you need to go a little bit lighter, then definitely get a weight that you're comfortable with. For the first set, I like to do 15 reps with a 2-second pause at the top of each rep. And when you're doing a hip thrust, you want to make sure to keep your chin tucked to your chest. And then as far as foot placement goes, I used to do them with more of a narrow stance, but I have found that doing a little bit of a wider stance with my toes pointed out, I feel it more in my glutes. So the first set, like I said, is my light set. After that, I go into my heavy set, and here I wanted to show how to get the weight on. I do get a lot of messages on Instagram of girls who maybe haven't tried this exercise wondering how I get the weight on me by myself. But if you just want to sit on the floor and use a barbell like this one, usually able to roll it over you so that you're not having to lift it with your arms or anything like that to place it on top of you. But same thing with these sets, you want to keep your chin tucked, and I still like to do a 2-second pause at the top even on my heavy sets. And I will do my heavy sets 3 times, and I will do 6 to 8 reps on each set. For the last set, so this is my 5th set, I'll drop back down to that original weight, but then add a band on. And what I do is I do 5 reps, and on the 5th rep, I will hold at the top and do 5 reps of hip abduction with the band, and you will really feel the burn, girl. I do this 3 times, so it's a total of 15 full reps and 15 hip abductions. That third set of 5 is like unbearable, but it feels so good when you're done. If your glutes aren't on fire by the end of this, then honey, you're doing something wrong.
You got it, you got it, come on. Good, finish it out. What are you at?
One more.
One more, come on, you got it. Up, up, up. Yep.
Oh my God.
Woo!
So the next exercise is gonna be your standard Smith squat. I do, however, like to keep my feet a little bit wider than the normal stance, but not quite as wide as a full sumo squat, and keep my toes pointed out. I like to do a warm-up set for every exercise just to prevent injury. And what you wanna do to prevent this from being a quad-focused exercise is make sure that you're pushing through the heel, and when you're coming up, you wanna make sure the power is going through your glutes. Try to push through your glutes and not through your quads, and it helps focusing your weight in the heel. After I do one warm-up set, I will do 3 regular sets, and I typically do 10 to 12 reps. I used to really hate doing squats because I would feel it in my back, but now that I have figured out the foot placement that feels right for me and just learning that mind and muscle connection to push through the glutes and not the legs, I really do like it. If you are feeling it more in your back, definitely start with a very light weight. Before I got to this weight, which still isn't that much, I started with one 10 plate on each side, and until I felt comfortable and it not hurting my back or any other part of my body, that's when I slowly started to increase the weight. This next exercise is another one of my favorites. They are curtsy lunges, and I like to do them on one side. It prevents you from kind of swinging side to side and losing your balance. So I like to focus all on one side, that way that one foot stays stable. So if you have problems with balance, this might be a better way for you as well. When you're doing these, you really want to sit back into that glute and then push through the heel of your front foot on the way up. You should feel all of the burn through that front glute and not through your quads. If you are feeling it in other places, definitely play with the foot placement, where your back foot is going, and make sure you're pushing through the heel of the front foot. I'll typically do about 12 reps on each side with this one. You can even do it unweighted if you're just learning. So this next exercise is on the seated leg press. A lot of times I use the other leg press with the plates, but for this particular sequence that I'm doing, I like to do it on the seated leg press because it's easier to change the weights when I go from single leg to double leg. I will do 7 reps on each leg individually and then 7 reps with both legs. What you want to focus on here is pushing through the heel and the glute. This exercise will really target the bottom of your ass. So if you're trying to lift the booty, this is one to do that. Keep your feet really high. Keep in mind that I'm pretty tall. I'm about 5'8". So if you can see, my feet are hanging off of the plate. Only my heels are on the plate. If you're a lot shorter than me, this might not be the case. Your feet might not be as high as mine. But also I want to mention, place your feet where you feel it in the bottom of your glutes. It might be different for everyone. I have a friend that does this, that she feels it with her feet a little bit lower. So just find the placement that you feel the burn in the bottom of your glutes, where your leg meets your butt, and that's the place you want to stick to. Also, I want you to focus on going all the way down on this exercise. So if you can tell in the video, when I get to the bottom, I pause for just a second because I'm trying to get that pull in the bottom of my glutes. Like, you can feel it going lower, and then you want to push up. Once you get to that lowest point where your glutes can't take it anymore, that's when you'll push up. Oh, and I think I forgot to mention that when I do the double leg, my feet are close together, so a narrow stance. For this exercise, I tend to go a little bit slow on the way down because I want to feel that stretch in my lower glutes, and then explode up a lot faster. So slow down and fast up. Definitely do a weight that you're comfortable with. If you're unable to go down slow, or you're slamming the weights down on your way down, then the weight is probably a little bit too heavy.
Something I wish I never said. Damn, you got me feeling high on life, riding that pina colada style at night. I'm so sure I'll be freaking out. You're only one drink from messing
next exercise is the hip abduction machine. I am shaped pretty straight up and down, so I'm really trying to focus on the outer glutes, trying to get some shape there. I like to do 3 to 4 sets at a challenging weight, and as I'm doing each rep, you'll see that similarly to the last exercise, you're going to push out fast, and then when you bring it back in, you want to have control and bring it in slowly. So bring it in slow, explode out. I'll usually do 12 to 15 reps, and when you get to that last rep, when you push out, you're going to do pulses. I like to do 10 or until failure. Then for the very last set, I like to do a burnout. So taking the weight as heavy as I can possibly go, and I'm going to just do it till failure each time. So no set number of reps, just until I can't do it anymore, and then I will drop the weight just a little bit and do that again, and I will keep dropping the weight. I think I do about 5 or 6 drop sets here, and I like this to burn it out because it is pretty brutal. You'll see on my face that it's hard.
Good. Come on, 2 more, 2 more, 2 more. 2 more, you got it. Good work. Good, 1 more after this.
Legs are shaking.
Yes.
And just to top everything off that we did, we're going to do some cable kickbacks. So with this, you'll see a lot of people do things a little bit wrong, and I am not an expert, but you don't want to be swinging your leg back and forth, and you don't want to be, I mean, if you're standing straight up, that's perfectly fine, but you don't want to arch your back during this. Sometimes it looks like I'm arching my back. I do have a naturally sway back, but I like to hold on to those little handles there to try to keep my back as straight as possible and keep my posture as straight as possible when I'm doing these. And another thing you want to do is use a weight that you're able to hold it at the top. If you're not able to hold your leg for 1 to 2 seconds at the top, the weight is too heavy. And in that case, if the weight is too heavy, you might be kind of using your back a little bit, which is not good. So use a weight that is challenging to you, but still doable for this exercise. Again, where you're able to hold it at the top. And I will usually do 4 sets of this with 10 to 12 reps on each side. That's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below your favorite glute exercises. We could all help each other, and I would love to try out some new exercises. I'm always down for that. I'm always looking for ways to switch it up. But yeah, thank you guys again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!